Public Health Engineering. Subject code of Public Health Engineering is 22504. So the water is exposed or available to the atmosphere contain many impurities which are harmful to any living organism. If untreated water consumed by any living organism, it's likely cause serious harmful to their health. So make water potable and free from various impurities. There are different methods which we are going to apply or which we are going to adopt for to make the water potable. So there are filtration, then again disinfection, all methods which is used for make the water potable. Okay, in this unit we are going to learn different topics, means units. So first is sources, quantity and quality of water. Second, purification of water. Third, conveyance and distribution of water. Fourth, domestic sewage and system of sewerage. Then, characteristics and treatment of sewage. There are 5 units in the public health engineering. Okay, after this, what is the public health engineering? Public health engineering, it's the branch of environmental engineering which deals with the study of water, means potable water, raw water, then sewage water means waste water. After that, distribution of potable water means drinkable water to the consumers, then distribution of water for industrial purpose or any other purpose. So these all studies we are going to learn in this subject. Okay, so filtration is the soul of purification process. The line of treatment is depends on quality and quantity of natural water. Okay, in India, first modern water supply system is installed by corporation in 1870. Okay, so here we are going to learn on sources, quantity and quality of water. This is your first unit. So what is the important in this unit? The need to protect the water supply, flow diagram of water supply scheme, function of units, then function of means function of water supply scheme units. Okay, then importance of water supply project, layout of water supply project, then demand of water. So these demand will go to vary. Okay, means it depends on different factors. So let's this going to learn from this point. The next point is factors affecting rate of this point, factors affecting rate of demand, then variations of water demand, forecasting of population, method of forecasting of population. Here simple problem, they will ask you about forecasting of population, and it's very important point regarding for your regarding your project etc project. And if you want to do the project on public health engineering, okay, at that time you have to learn or you have to calculate, firstly the mandatory thing, you have to calculate forecasting of populations. Okay, then design period, estimating of quantity of a water supply required for city or town. There are then types of water supply schemes. Okay, after this, importance of public health engineering. So what are the importance? Environmental engineers design a municipal water supply schemes and provide safe drinking water or secure the water supplies for potable and agricultural use. So to achieve this, they examine the watersheds with hydrological or geological point of view as well as engineering treatment system for the water purification. Okay, means अगर हमें कुछ वाटर सप्लाई स्कीम वगैरह डिज़ाइन करनी हो तो हम डायरेक्टली थोड़ी डिज़ाइन करते हैं, उसके लिए हमें थोड़ा प्रिपेयर करना पड़ता है, थोड़ा स्टडी करना पड़ता है. मीन्स दे हैव टू डू सम सर्वेज. सो बाय यूजिंग हाइड्रोलॉजिकल then geological point of view, we have to think this point of view, means hydrological point of view and geological point of view. Okay, after that we are going to design if it is feasible or not feasible, again fund arrangement, so many things in it we are going to learn step by step. Okay, then various water treatment methods are used including membrane technology, desalinization, biological water treatment, then water treatment distribution system are also designed and built. After that, what is the public health engineering importance? Next is environmental engineers also develop collection and treatment system to carry the domestic or industrial wastewater discharge away and remove some pollutants before discharging it into environment. So if you want to discharge any type of water which is comes from industrial area or from domestic area, okay, so there where we can't discharge this kind of water directly to the resources, mean directly to the river, lake. We can't do this because it will directly impact on our environment. So we have to maintain that thing. We can't be discharge this kind of water, means polluted water, into the resources. So we have to treat it before discharging it into resources, okay. So for that, this public health engineering is very important. Then what are the functions of public health engineering? To review and approve construction plans suitable for the health legislation, to provide engineering expertise, advice, guidelines to public health officers and other government agencies, to provide professionals PhD supports in identifying, resolving and preventing community environmental health problems, to analyze, provide technical input on public health problems. Okay, these all things very important. After that, main source of water is rainfall or precipitation. Okay, means surface runoff. There are different types of sources. Okay, according to that sources, we have to learn about their properties, means the proper characteristics of water, means it is portable or not portable. If it is not portable, then we have to treat it, okay. That's why water treatment system is applicable. So we have to remove that color, odor, then again some hardness is there, we have to remove it. That's why water treatment supply scheme is required, okay. After that, there are functions of units. These following are the functions of units, means water sources. Water sources mean that subsurface, then surface sources, okay. It's used to provide the water to water supply scheme, okay. Then intake structures means to permit the withdrawal of water from the source. Then rising means to carry the water from intake structure to sump well. Then pump houses means to lift the water from some well to deliver to the water treatment plant. WTP means water treatment plant. Then some well to store the water. Then water treatment plant, after this all process, then water treatment plant is used to purify the impure water, okay, which is comes from that source. Then GSR and ESR to store the pure water at ground level in case of GSR, and to create the pressure head over water supply pipelines in case of ESR. Then distribution system, it's used to distribute the water to consumer, the public. There are different objectives. The student should be able to understand the terms involved in public water supply and domestic sewage. No, different types of sources of water for the public water supply. Types of sources means surface sources and subsurface sources, okay. Surface sources means what? Lake, stream, river, dam, reservoir, then stored rainwater, pond, etc. Then subsurface surface sources means spring, artesian, then gravity, surface springs, infiltration, galleries and wells. This all contains in subsurface sources, okay. So these sources are very important for taking the water, and this water will convey through distribution system, okay. It conveyed to water treatment plant for treatment. Then after that, understand the method for estimating. Here method for estimating, so population forecasting is there. Then according to that population, for according to that forecasting, we have to design water treatment plan for that population, okay. And after that, what we have to learn, then suggest the treatment required for knowing the quality of water. In this point, अभी हम जो सोर्सेस से जो वाटर ले रहे हैं, उसकी भी हमें क्या करनी पड़ेंगी, जो क्वालिटीज़ है वो क्लैरिफाई करने पड़ेंगे ना, किस क्वालिटी का वाटर है, विच आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ वाटर, then what type of impurities are contained or present in that type of water. After that we will going to decide which kind of treatment is useful for this water to purify it or make it a potable. So this is the main point. After that they had understand the hydraulic design of units in treatment plant, then understand different sewage system with their mirrors. Okay, then analyze the quality of sewage and suggest the suitable treatment system for sewage. After that, specific objectives. What are the specific objectives? The first is draw layout of water supply scheme. Okay, then calculate the forecasted population, then estimate the quantity of water demand. After that, understand working of water treatment units, know hydraulic design of water treatment units, then describe functions and location of different valves on pipes. Okay, then draw layout of water distribution system. After that, draw hydraulic flow diagram of water treatment plant. ओके सो जैसे मैंने पहले बता दिया आपको कि जो वाटर हम सोर्स से लेने वाले हैं और वी हैव टू लिफ्ट दैट वाटर फ्रॉम द सोर्सेज, सो दैट वाटर कंटेन्स मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ impurities, okay, like hardness, chlorides, total solids, dissolved solids is also included in organic matters, then impurities like E. coli index, that we will going to learn, but we have to know that this kind of impurities is contained in the water and we have to treat it, okay, for make it a portable. Okay, so the here one table is, I have showed you this table. Okay, okay, this is the total solids. There are some desirable limits and permissible limit. Okay, this kind of tables which is given by IS, what is this, IS 10500 1991. Your total solids, pH, hardness and chlorides. Okay, अभी इस पर आपको प्रैक्टिकल भी है, तो प्रैक्टिकल भी practicals also very important. After this, the total solids desirable limit 500 milligram per liter and permissible limit 2000 milligram per liter. pH in between 6.5 to 8.5. Then hardness should be in between 300 milligram per liter to 600 milligram per liter. Okay, in water, if hardness is more than this, we have to treat that water. Then chlorides, it should be in between 250 to 1000 milligram per liter. Okay, this is the desirable and permissible limit as per IS 10500 1991. Then there are different rules by Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, then the governments, IS, there are different rules for drinking water. So here some criteria which I show you here. Maharashtra Pollution Control Board. So color is measured on cobalt scale. Okay, which scale is used for measuring the color? Cobalt scale. So these all limits we have to learn for the practical purpose, for our theoretical purpose, for your project purpose, means, and one more thing is very important, for exam purpose. Okay, अभी हमें जो MCQs वगैरह आने वाले हैं उसमें ये पूछा जा सकता है, व्हाट इज़ द मेजरमेंट स्केल, okay, for color. Then there are different things, color, pH, which kind of instrument is used for measuring this kind of test, like this, that kind of questions is asked in your MCQs वगैरह. Okay, असाइनमेंट में भी होंगे ये क्वेश्चंस. सो लिमिट्स वगैरह पूछे जा सकते हैं आपको. So it's very important. Then turbidity 2.5 ppm, total solids 500 ppm, chlorides 200 ppm, then free ammonia 0.15 ppm, pH 7 to 8.5. Then okay, this pH point, pH in MPCB rule, the MPCB rules, pH in between 7.5 to 8.5, and what we will learn in IS 10500 1991, pH is in between 6.5 to 8.5. Okay, then fluoride 1 ppm, then arsenium 0.05 ppm, E. coli index 10, then cyanide 0.05 ppm. After that, we are going to learn about sources and quality of water. Okay, then surface, subsurface sources of water, then definition and its types, factor affecting the locations of intake structure. After that, water conservation, then groundwater recharging, necessity, importance and advantages of it, need of analysis of water, characteristics of water, physical chemical characteristics is there, biological characteristics, then testing of water for the total solids, hardness and chlorides, then dissolved oxygen, pH, fluoride, nitrogen, and its compounds. Bacteriological test, E. coli, B. coli index, MPN, most probable number is the MPN test. Sampling of water, water quality standards as per IS. This is the sources of water, surface sources and subsurface sources. As I tell you already, okay. Then surface sources means when the surface runoff is available for water supply scheme, then such a sources is known as surface sources. It means stream, lake, river, reservoir, pond, stored rainwater. Okay, this is. And then subsurface sources means the water that has percolated into the ground is brought on the surface. Then such a type of this type of sources is known as underground sources. Then there are different types: infiltration galleries, spring and well. So spring contains artesian, gravity and surface. Okay, artesian spring, gravity spring and surface spring. Well, it includes shallow well, deep well, tube well, artesian well. Okay, so in this streams means what? In mountains region, streams are formed by runoff. The discharge in the stream is much. So streams means mountain regions and area streams are formed by runoff in mountains region. तो माउंटेन रीजन में जो रन ऑफ वगैरह फ्लो होता है ना, उससे जो कोई मीन्स एक पैटर्न फ्लो होता है, इट्स कॉल्ड एज अ स्ट्रीम. सिंपल इज दैट. द डिस्चार्ज इन द स्ट्रीम इज मच इन रेनी सीजन than the other season. Of course, it's just due to runoff. How runoff created? Due to rainfall. So streams is much in rainy season than the other season. So after that, lake. Lake means what? In mountains at some places, natural basins are formed with the impervious bed, and then these impervious beds, okay, the water from the streams or springs generally flooded towards these basins. Okay, do you get that point? This is called as a lake. How lake is formed means what? In mountains at some places, natural basins are formed with the impervious beds. Okay, means water from the streams or springs generally flooded towards basins. So this water or this form water body is called as lake. After that, river. So as you know already that rivers are formed when the large number of springs and streams combine together. It can be developed as chief sources of the water for the towns or city. Okay, means these all are relatively, means these all are depends on each other. Okay, how is depend? First of all, stream. How streams form? Streams form mainly in rainy season. Okay, so how it's formed? Due to runoff, and mainly here water is much more due to rainfall. Okay, then there is in mountain areas. Okay, after that, lake. How lake is formed? In mountain areas at some places, natural basins are formed with the impervious bed. Okay, impervious means what? Uh, their percolation is not possible. This is the impervious bed. So in mountains at the place where natural basins are formed with the impervious bed, and waters from that stream and spring generally flow towards this spring. these basins. Okay, means स्ट्रीम का जो वाटर होता है वो कहाँ फ्लो होता है, वो होता है लेक के उस इम्परवियस बेड में. ओके, मीन्स जनरली फ्लो टूवर्ड्स दिस basin, and that basin is called, what we call, that is the lake. Okay, after that river, how river is formed? So river are formed when the large number of springs and streams combine together. It's called river, and it can be developed as mainly chief sources of water for the town or cities. Then reservoir. So reservoir, here we consider it as a reservoir like dam, etc. So it's used for the storage of water. Okay. Due to variation in the quantity of river, why we want reservoir, why we want a dam, etc. So dam is a kind of a water body which is used for to store the water. Okay, for later use. Here we can't use that water like means runoff is here. Then if rainfall is here, and then we are going to likely use that water. Okay, we can't use this water for present use. हम यूज़ करते हैं वाटर भी, हम यूज़ करते हैं, बट वाटर इसलिए होता है कि अगर हमें बाद में जब रेनफॉल नहीं हो रहा है तब हम जो वाटर यूज़ करते हैं, जो वाटर हम यूज़ करते हैं वो कहाँ का होता है, डैम का होता है. ओके, so that's why we have to construct a dam to store the water for the later use. Due to the variation in the quantity of the river or water in monsoon and summer, the hydraulic structure constructed across the river or the stream to store the water to its upstream side is called as reservoir. Okay, reservoir means what? Your dam. Okay, the dam means what? It's the hydraulic structure constructed across the river or stream to store the water for its later use and store the water to its upstream side. It's called as reservoir or dam. So why we going to construct the dam? Due to variation in the quality of river water in monsoon and summer. Okay, then what is the objectives of these? To store the water and stabilize the flow, to control the flow of water. After this, ponds. So it's the artificial thing. The ponds is not a natural thing like river, lake and stream. Okay, river, lake, stream, these all are the natural. Dam, reservoir we going to construct. This means it's a man-made structure. Pond is also artificial structure. And then store rainwater, it's also we are going to do. Okay, this is not a natural thing, so this is also artificial thing. So this is pond. So pond is a man-made body of heavy water smaller than lake. Here we can't store the much water than the lake because it's a man-made structure. Means what is the pond? Means pond is a man-made body of having water smaller than lake. Then pond are formed due to excessive digging of ground. They are filled up with the water in rainy seasons. Then store rainwater. What is the store rainwater? Rainwater means what? At the some places where the neither surface water nor subsurface water is easily available, then only way is store the rainwater in tanks from the roof of building. जनरली आपने देखा होगा जो स्लोपिंग रूफ वगैरह होते हैं उससे जो वाटर कलेक्ट होता है, एक रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग. ओके, डू यू नो अबाउट रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग? दिस इज ऑल्सो वन काइंड ऑफ स्टोर रेन वाटर. And when we can't possible that store collect the water from surface sources, subsurface sources, at that time we are going to store the rainwater. Okay, then underground, after this surface sources, and so this is the surface sources, subsurface sources. Subsurface sources means underground sources. So the water that as percolated into the ground is brought on the surface, then such a type of sources is called as a underground sources or subsurface sources. Okay, then it contains infiltration galleries, springs and wells. So infiltration galleries means it is a horizontal tunnel which is constructed through the water bearing strata. It's called as a horizontal well. So construction means open joint perforated stone where or concrete pipes embedded in the sandy subsurface aggregate act as a filtering layer. Then groundwater percolates through aggregate into the pipe and conveyed to the sump well. Then pipeline is laid low below the lowest groundwater level in aquifer. Manual are provided for the inspection purpose and 100-meter intervals if the pipeline is very long. So water bearing strata is available for the infiltration galleries. The infiltration gallery is a horizontal, nearly horizontal tunnel constructed through water bearing strata, and it's usually constructed in brick walls and RCC then at its top. Okay, so the gallery obtain the water through the porous drain pipe from the water bearing strata. The pipes are also covered with the gravel, then pebbles, then aggregates, small stone, etc. Then to prevent the entry of the very fine material into the pipe, the porous drain pipes may be single or double in a row. The galleries is laid at a slope and the water is collected in the sump well in this. Okay, then the depth is about constructed is about 5 to 10 meters from the ground level. So this gallery is constructed at depth of about 5 to 10 meter. Then manholes are used for the inspection purpose. After this, springs. So there are different springs: artesian, gravity, and surface springs. So when the groundwater appears or comes at the surface for any reason, springs are formed. They serve as a source of supply for small towns, especially near hills or base of the hills. Then there are different types: artesian, gravity, and surface springs. Artesian means in this type of springs, groundwater comes to the surface under the pressure, and the artesian spring may also be formed due to presence of fissures or cracks in the ground impervious layer. Okay, in impervious layers. After that, gravity spring. One more thing is the artesian springs gives the water throughout the year. Okay, here it is not in continuity in the water, so it gives the water through artesian spring gives the water throughout the year. After that, gravity spring. So this pictures is also here. This is the gravity spring and this is the artesian spring. So artesian spring is it means the water comes to the surface under the pressure, and in the gravity vice versa. In gravity, here the water is comes under the gravity. Okay, here means gravity spring. Here trench is here. Okay, this is the trench, this is the fissures and spring. The type of spring developed due to overflowing of water. Due to overflowing of water, the flow from the gravity spring is variable with the rate and fall of water table. Water table increases, then gravity spring layer is also increases. So the flow also increases. The flow from the gravity spring is variable with the rise and flow of water table. Here. Here. When the water comes to the surface due to overflowing of the water table, then such a spring is called a gravity spring. Then surface spring. What is the surface spring? When the subsoil water is exposed to the ground surface by the obstruction of the impervious layer, then spring develop is known as subsurface spring. So this type of springs, the quality of the water obtained from this spring is quite uncertain. Cut-off wall may be constructed to develop the such a spring. Cut-off wall also want to construct for develop the spring in this type of surface spring. And then well, an artesian pit or hole made in the ground for the purpose of tapping water is known as the well. There are different types of well: shallow well, deep well, tube well, artesian well. In the shallow well, the diameter is in between 2 to 6 meter and depth is between 6 to 8 meter. So the shallow wells are constructed in uppermost layer of the surface. The diameter of shallow well is in between 2 to 6, so they may be line or unlined from the inside. Is also called as staining. Okay, generally the depth below the water table is kept about 6 to 8 meter, and having staining which is in shallow well, so staining thickness is 300 to 500 mm, and if maybe it's without, maybe sometime without lining. Next is, so that if the water table falls by 3 to 5 meter, some water will be available from the shallow well. So why we are going to provide 6 to 8 meter depth in the shallow well? Generally the depth below the water table is kept at about 6 to 8 meter. Okay, means so that if water table falls by 3 to 5 meter, some water will be available from shallow well. Then deep well. So deep well is constructed by brick wall. It is also called as pressure well. When the wells obtain their quota of the water from aquifer below an impervious layer is called as deep well, also called as pressure well. It means when the well obtain from their quota of the water from aquifer below an impervious layer is known as a deep well. And pressure well, because it's always available at, it's known as a pressure well also because it's available, always available at a pressure greater than atmospheric pressure. The theory of deep well based on the travel of the water from outcrop to the side of well. Outcrop is the place where aquifer is exposed to the atmosphere. Okay, so we get that deep well means when the water is obtained from the quota of the water from an aquifer. Okay, this is the aquifer. Okay, is the aquifer is there. So outcrop means is the place where the aquifer is exposed to the atmosphere. Then after that tube well. So tube well means our bore well. Okay, so the tube well is a deep well having diameter about 50 to 200 mm and obtains water from number of aquifers से water मिलता है. So the quantity of the water obtained from the tube well is sufficient, so used in small town, then residential colonies, big garden, etc. To that artesian wells. The artesian condition develop when aquifer is enclosed between two impervious layers. Under such a condition, the hydraulic gradient line is also above ground level at the site of artesian well, and hence when a hole is made in ground, the waters come out with the force under pressure. And under this, the artesian condition develops when aquifer is enclosed between two impervious layers. Okay, then when the peat is made in the groundwater comes out under pressure in the well. How water is comes out? Water comes out under the pressure. After this is the gravity spring, artesian well, and this is the layout of water supply scheme. Surface, intake well, jack well, artesian unit, aeration unit, then coagulant, then flash mixer, clarifloculation, filtration unit, chlorine. Here we add chlorine. Okay, then clear water sump, pumping, elevator reservoir, and distribution system. These are all the units of water supply system. Intake structure, bar screen, low lift screen, primary disinfection, coagulation, flocculation, sedimentation, filtration, sump fail, secondary disinfection, high lift pump fail, ESR means electric service reservoir, then distribution system. Okay, why are we going to use intake structure? So it is a structure which is constructed across the surface of the water so as to permit the withdrawal of water from the source. Then there are different types of intake structure, means river intake structure is there, canal intake structure, then reservoir and dam intake structure, portable intake structure. Is all about the intake structure that we are going to learn later. Okay, the intake structure. Okay, different types of intake structure. Then there are different function. Then bar screen. So next is this is the flow diagram. Okay, this is the flow diagram for the water treatment. Again the functions of units. So यह जो हम फंक्शंस देख रहे हैं ना, यूनिट एक एक जो यूनिट्स का है, स्पेशल यूनिट्स का, उस पर आपको स्पेशल थियरी है, लाइक बार स्क्रीन, देन टाइप्स, देन फंक्शंस, देन टाइप्स, दैट टाइप्स उसके फंक्शंस भी हैं आपको स्टडी के लिए. ओके, देन इनटेक स्ट्रक्चर मीन्स टू विड्रॉ द रॉ वाटर फ्रॉम द सरफेस वाटर इज ड्रॉन इनटू द plant through intake structure. Then bar screen means what? To remove the floating water from the screens, from the water. So to remove the floating water from the to remove the floating matter from the water. So there are different types of screens which is used for removing the floating matter from the water. There are large matters, means they are removed from water. Then low lift pump fail. This pump lifts the water to flow through the treatment process by gravity. Then primary disinfection means to disinfect the water. Coagulation means coagulants rapidly add electrochemical charges that attract the small particles in the water to clamp together as a flock. And this initial charge neutralization process allows the form flock to agglomerate but remain suspended. Okay, the coagulation means is flock formation, and coagulant attract the small particles into clamp together as a flock. This is the coagulation. Then flocculation means what? By slower mixing, turbulence causes the flocculated water to form a large flock particles that become cohesive and increase in mass. This visible flock is kept in suspension until large enough to settle under the influence of gravity. Is the flocculation. Then sedimentation. Flocculated water is applied to large volume tanks where the flow speed slow down and dense flocks settle in sedimentation tank. After this, filtration. Then filtration is the, as I tell you already, filtration is the soul of water treatment plant or water treatment process. So filtration means remaining impurities is removed in filtration by using filter. Different types of filters is used in this process. Then sump fill. Filtered water is stored into sump fill. Then secondary disinfection. Supplemental chlorine is added to maintain disinfection concentration while the water is pumped through distribution system. The purpose is to ensure mean residual chlorine at the end point. Okay, the purpose is to ensure the minimum residual disinfectants level at the farthest point of system. Then high lift pump fail. So treated drinking water is pumped through large pressure pump to other pumping station reservoirs or point of supply within the local distribution system. After that, ESR means elevated service reservoir. Ensure that stable pressure in distribution system. Okay. Then distribution system means it consists of large number of pipes network to deliver the drinking water or public water. So means distribution system are comprised a large number of pipe as a tank means to deliver drinking water, and smaller diameter branch means feed individual states. Serves connections to branch means deliver the water into residence. Pumping stations are used to increase pressure and to maintain the adequate water supply. Okay, so what are the importance of water supply projects? Make the water pure, remove harmful bacteria, remove iron and manganese present, make the water potable means free from impurities, so that all the characteristics of water are within the limit. all supplies water with required pressure. After this, next is this is the layout of water supply project. After that, we are going to learn about demand of water and next section. So there we have to calculate some we have to do some calculations on this demand of water. So for that we have to calculate population of your area and nearest town, etc. So collect the data and then we are going to calculate this demand of water. This simple formula is there. So rate of demand, if you want to calculate the rate of demand, then put in this formula Q upon P multiply by 365. So 365 means 1 year. In 1 year 365 days is there. Okay, that's why we are going to multiply population by 365 days. Okay, because rate of demand, how we can calculate? Rate of demand is calculated in liter per person per day or capita per day. Okay, means population is measured in person or capita, and this is 365 is in days and q is in liter per meter cube. So we have to calculate the what is the q is the quantity of water required per year in liter. Okay, and estimated population is p. So you have to collect your nearby area population. Okay, then we will put in this q upon p multiplied by 365 formula. Okay, rate of demand. So what is the demand of water means? It is the water to be supplied per head per day. It is expressed as liter per person per day or capita per day. So rate of demand Q upon P multiplied by 365. The Q means quantity of water required per year in liter and P is estimated population. It's a simple formula. You have to remember this formula for determining the rate of demand. Okay, then demand of water means demand of water requires to satisfy or providing following various demand in known as a demand of water. So there are different demands of water means for domestic purpose. Water is used for which type of purpose? For domestic purpose, for public purpose, then industrial, commercial, institutional purpose, and fire demand, losses and wastage is there. So water is used for satisfying various demand like domestic demand, public demand, industrial, commercial, institutional, then losses and wastage, and fire demand. Okay, so there are different demands according to season. It will vary according to population. It will also vary and having fixed values for this demand. For example, if we take the domestic demand. Domestic demand means the water is needed for drinking, cooking, washing, bathing, air conditioning, etc. purpose. So demand may be lie between 50 to 350 liter per capita per day, and according to IS, the residence domestic demand is about 135 liter per capita per day. Okay, this demand is also about 55 to 60% of total demand, and the main thing is this quantity of water is depends on two factors: rate of demand and population. As I tell you already, population is very important for determining the rate of demand. Okay, these depends on each other. Okay, means rate of demand, vice versa population is there. The quantity of water means it's very difficult to estimate the quantity of water required for the particular town. It involves assumptions of many factors as well as for foresight of designer play an important role in arising at this quantity. However, this problem can be handled by standing in details for following two factors. If we calculate the rate of demand and population, then we can determine that quantity of water is this quantity of water will be used for this area or applicable for this area. In that, rate of demand is means rate of consumption per head is estimated based on requirements of water for various uses. Means that uses I just tell you already that domestic, public, etc, etc. Then population, the number of users to serve by scheme are calculated and estimated for further population is worked out with the help of method available. There are different methods which I explained in the first second slide, that forecasting of population. Okay, This prediction of the population, this means forecasting of population. These all things we have to learn. Then there are different methods for forecasting population, different factors. Also here, demand of water is not a one point. This again there are different points contains in this demand of water. It is not a turn in this point. Okay, there are different factors which are affecting on demand of water. Roughly I will give idea about this demand of water, and you have to think on it. What are the factors which will going to affect on water demand, how that factors are affecting. Okay, the factors are cost of water, then habits of peoples, okay, climatic conditions, then size of city, quality of water, metering means metering system, okay, then supply and distribution pressure, industries and commerce, then system of supply and system of sanitation. All things are affecting on this water demand. Then variation in water demand due to seasonal variation, monthly, daily, hourly, even hourly variation is there also. Then here we want forecasting of population. So population forecasting means determination of future population, as I told already, based on present and previous year population by referring statistic in census record. Okay, there are different methods for population forecasting we are going to learn. So for today I have to stop. We are going to learn all forecasting methods, etc., etc., up to up to the total means up to quality of water. To quality of water means characteristics of water, etc. Okay, next session. Okay, do you get that all the points? And if you have any question queries, then directly ask me. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day. Thank you. Thank you so much.